Sacred Siracusa. What a special place. What an amazing place. Today we're going to take you to Siracusa. We're going to look at the history and, of course, some wonderful books set in Sicily. Welcome. This is Latina Literati. Siracusa is an ancient land, 3,000 years of civilization. It is part of what was known as Magna Grecia, Greater Greece. So you have the main thousands of islands of Greece, and then you have the colonies that the Greeks established throughout the Mediterranean. And Sicily was central to Magna Grecia, to Greater Greece. And in fact, Syracuse was the most important city in the whole Mediterranean for many years. So to be here and to walk the streets and to see, for example, the Duomo that was originally a Greek temple, it's just beautiful architecture, very warm, and you can see just the layers and layers of history here. A beautiful place. So about 800 BC, the Corinthian Greeks established Syracuse, and about 287 BC, one of the greatest mathematicians in human history, Archimedes, is born in Syracuse. And not only will he be born in Syracuse, not only will his theorems be the basis of modern mathematics. So, for example, he is to math what Plato is to philosophy. His theorems are the basis of many of the things in calculus and other mathematical areas that we know today. He will defend his city till the end, with his last breath, against the Romans. So in about 312 BC, you have if you look at this map, you'll see Rome is on one side, Carthage is on the other, and Syracusa's dead center in the middle. So there are groups in the city that side with Carthage, and immediately Rome sends its ships to besiege the city. But of course, they have Archimedes, one of the greatest minds of that era. And he is able to build all sorts of machines that keep the city safe. It is said that even with mirrors, he would make the Roman ships just erupt in flames. But he has catapults, and he has cannons, and he has different things that just won't allow the city to be taken. Fabulous, amazing strategies, and the ability of one mind to hold off the greatest army at that point in the world. It takes several years, but eventually the Romans do break through, and the city is taken, and he was in fact assassinated by a Roman centurion. Terrible, but he is known through history as a man that gave his life for his people, for his city, and did it using his mind. What a fabulous person to discover and to learn about, Archimedes. After Rome has taken the city, Siracusa will never regain the fame that it had beforehand as a center of learning, center of culture, center of trade and commerce. But it continues to be really important. And in fact, in 44 AD, the Romans give all Sicilians Roman citizenship, and in 304, the famous Saint Santa Lucia is martyred in Siracusa, and in fact one of the churches there is dedicated to her, so it was very special to see all of the history, the layers of history there. There will be several earthquakes in about 1100 and about 1300 that will just make the city much less of what it was architecturally, but we stayed in the Ortigia area, which is very beautiful. It's all pedestrian. It was a wonderful way to get to know the city, walking through the different narrow streets and the beautiful alleyways, and the food is amazing. wonderful food in Siracusa. To visit Siracusa, you have to fly into Catania, and it's about an hour away. Very wonderful city. Recommend your visit when you can. And now on to my favorite part of the video, the book recommendations. The first book I'm going to recommend is called Glorious Exploits, and this is exactly about the wars with Rome and Carthage, and it just gives you wonderful historical detail. So if this is of interest to you, totally check your local bookseller, check your local library. These are fabulous books to really delve into the Greek and Roman world and get a sense of how the city-states competed against each other and took over each other. One can't speak of Carthage with, of course, not speaking about the Barca brothers, Hannibal Barca and his brothers. They were the leaders of the armies of Carthage, and so the next book is called Hannibal, and it's really worth understanding how important Carthage was. Cicero is said to have constantly harped in the Roman Senate, Carthago delenda est, in other words, Carthage must be destroyed. But the reason was that Carthage was such a center of powerful learning, of powerful culture, and a representative of the height, the epoch of some wonderful civilizations in Africa. And Rome just couldn't have that. So the Romans were out for Carthage for many, many centuries. And this book goes into the details of the role of the Barca brothers, which was central to that whole campaign. The next book I want to recommend is called The Tyrants of Syracuse, because Syracuse is not just a central place of commerce, of culture, of learning. It is also a political hotbed of ideas. So you have people coming up with all sorts of solutions and people enjoying the type of participatory decision making that we have come to identify with democracy. I never say these ancient cities were democratic because you can't have a real democracy based on a slave society, and that's what they were. So was there participatory decision making for males who were land owning and free? Yes, but everybody else was basically chattel. So it's fascinating because I feel like our concept of democracy is much more aligned with our indigenous ancestors, where everyone participated, and more importantly, the ultimate authority was with the Grandmother's Council. I feel like that's more of the line that we want than these kind of Western, kind of more patriarchal focused, and of course slave-based societies. That's not really where we want to go. But we definitely want to focus on participatory decision making, especially at this moment in time. We want to be part of the decisions and the solutions in our communities, and we need to stop the injustice around us. So that's where we are at this point in time. So it's important to look back, and it's important to look forward and see how we can help each other, how we can protect each other, and how we can keep each other safe. So stay safe, protect each other, care for each other, because that's what we're here to do. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I hope you've enjoyed a little glimpse of Siracusa and its history and the book recommendations. So let us know what you'd like us to talk about, what you would like us to present, because we love doing these videos for you and we enjoy sharing this information with you. As always, con mucho cariño, mucho salud, mucho amor. Gracias.